A very good morning to class 6 student. Class 6 student, very good morning. I hope all of you are fit and fine. Students, now I'm going to start a poem, The Quarrel. The name of the poem is The Quarrel. And before starting the poem, I hope all of you are fit and fine. Students, nowadays, what had happened, coronavirus is spreading all over India very fast. So, all of you need to do is what you have to do, you have to take care of yourself as well as your parents. No need to go anywhere out from your home and and do your proper studies, right? So now start the chapter, The Quarrel. The name of the poem is The Quarrel, and the name of the poet is Eleanor Ferguson. Eleanor Ferguson, the name of the poet. Now, in this poem, what had happened? Generally, brothers and sisters, all of you know that generally brothers and sisters quarreled with each other. It is very common situation in every home, right? It's a very common situation. Many a times they quarrel with each other without any reason. Their quarrels begin over very small petty issues, and how with a small kid act the quarrels end. It is very mystic and beautiful. So let's read about poem to feel the same. And the explanation of this poem is I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about one thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. The start of it was slight, the end is it was strong. He said he was right, I knew he was wrong. So now I am telling you the summary of the poem. In this poem, this poem is composed by Eleanor Ferguson. In this poem, poet trying to explain how a quarrels between two brothers begin and end without any reason. The poet says that he quarreled with his brother over something, and he was not even aware he was not even aware why he was quarreling about. One thing was given away to another, and while fighting, both of them fell down. Initially, it was a small petty issue, but gradually it became serious. The poet was claiming to the right viewers at heart to knew that he was wrong. Both of them didn't like one another in the afternoon. Something went wrong. Then suddenly his brother hit him on the back and asked him to come along as it is not possible or right to linger the issue throughout the night. He also claimed to be on the wrong side, so he actually right. It also is generosity. So this one is the summary of the poem, The Quarrel. In this poem, in this poem, poet describe poet poet explain the summary of the poem of the quarrel. In this poem, the quarrel is about quarrel between siblings. The poet talks about the love hidden behind the quarreling of the siblings. They fight with each other, but they cannot live without each other. In the poem, the poet speaks about the quarrel between him or and his brother. So this one is the this one is all about this poem, and once again I am telling you the summary of the poem. The some one day the they quarreled one day they quarreled with each other. When they quarreled with each other, the reason behind this is One they quarreled about between the siblings. The poet talks about overhidden behind the quarreling of the siblings. They fight with each other, but they cannot live without each other in the poem. The poet speaks about the quarrel between him and his brother. So, what you need to do is you have to write the name of the poem. And all of you, did you know the poet name is Eleanor Ferguson? He is born in 13 Feb 1881 in London, United Kingdom, and he passed away on 5th June 1965. 1965 in London itself. The poem is about relationship between siblings. They fight with each other for petty things, but difficult time they are inseparable. The poet wrote about her unpleasant relationship with her brother. He was unaware of the reasons of the fight. From one things to another, the quarrel started, but when it ended, it was very violent and strong. She knew that his brother was wrong. The relationship between them was not at all until one afternoon he patted on her back to give up all differences. He did not want to continue the fight anymore. He admitted his fault. The poet agreed to him to the first time. The poet ended with an affirmation of the strength of the relationship between the siblings. So, this in between this, the summary of the poem is that you have to what you need to do is you have to learn the summary of the poem and the MCQs of the poem also, right? So I'm telling you, the poet wrote about her unpleasant relationship with her brother. He was unaware of the reasons of their fight. From one thing to another, the quarrel started, but when it ended, it was very violent and strong. They knew they knew that his brother was wrong. The relationship between them was not at all cordial until one afternoon he patted on her back to give up all differences. He did not want to continue the fight anymore. He admitted his fault. The poet agreed to him to finish their quarrels. So, this one is all about the poem. Now, I'm going to tell you the MCQs of the chapter, right? So, MCQs, first of all, what we have to do, we have to write down the word meanings of the chapter. So you need to write down the word meanings of the chapter. The word meanings are like quarreled. Quarreled means an angry argument. An angry argument. Led, Led. Led. Led means light emitted. Slight, not considerable. Slight means not considerable. New. New means be aware. Be aware of thought, observation. Thumbed. Thumbed means usually your close hand. Hated, bottled. So bottled, BOTTED, bottled. So now we are moving forward to the MCQs of this chapter. MCQs of the Quarrel. The Quarrel is the name of the poem. In this poem, poet describe about the quarreling between brothers and the sisters and how they patch up with each other. Right. The first question, MCQs for the chapter in Honeysuckle poem, The Quarrel with. The Quarrel. The question is the siblings quarreled. The siblings quarreled. The siblings quarreled. Options are for a petty, over a petty point, not to fight again, for a piece of cake. So the answer is what? The siblings quarreled over a petty point. The next one, fell out means fell down or quarreled, go out, patch up. What does it means? It means quarreled. And the next one, third one, the exchange of hot word. The exchange of hot words led to. The exchange of hot word led to. Options are options are diseases, hatred, exposition, a quarrel. So the answer is hatred. Then the next question. The start was slight. The start was slight, but options are the end of it was strong. The the fight caused physical injuries. The harm got over. The fight became furious. Once again, I am going to repeat the question. The start was slight. The start was slight, but the options are the the end of it was strong. The fight caused physical injuries. The harm got over. The fight became furious. The answer is the end of it was strong. The next one, question number 5. The afternoon turned back means. The afternoon turned back means what? Options are an afternoon having black. An afternoon was miserable time clouds. Afternoon was black. The cloud covered the sky. The afternoon turned back means afternoon was a miserable time cloud. And the next question. Question number 6. The quarrel ended because options are one of the two was wise, one did not realize the fully, one did not feel sorry, one of them accepted the mistake. The quarrel ended because one of the two was wise. Question number 7. One thing led to another harm means. One thing led to another harm means one thing started harming, one thing caused another harm activities. It begins the chain of evil activities. It led to greater builders. So the answer is one thing caused another harmful activities. And the eighth question. The author of the poem is L.M. Henley, Harry Ben, Eleanor Forson, Y.N. Shuru. All of you know that the author of this poem is Eleanor Forson. Then the ninth one. It seems that the poet and her brother quarreled on a petty matter, some very important matter, money matter, property. A petty matter. Both the siblings felt that the other was. Options are right, wrong, honest, dishonest. Both the siblings felt that the other was wrong. Then the 11th one. The afternoon turned back because two of them, options are, were angry, were disappointed, had lost the way, had quarreled. Had quarreled. Now the next one. The author. Again, both the brothers felt that the other was wrong. A phrase fell out means that the brothers fell on the ground, fell from the roof, fell on the road, become unfriendly. The next one. Those who hated one another were friends, enemy, brothers, strangers. They are brothers. The afternoon turned back because the two of them options are were angry, were disappointed, had lost the way, had quarreled. The initiative to end the quarrel was taken by the speaker brother, their mother, their father. The answer is the speaker brother. Then the next one, the one is the wrong was, the one in the wrong was. Options are the speaker brother, neither of the brother, a third person. So this one in the wrong was neither of the brother. The next one. The word thumbed means the same as hit hard, put hand on, turned, massaged, hit hard. So these are the MCQs which you need to memorize, and no need to write it down in your copies. Only write uh, 4 or 5 MCQs which I am giving to you, which are given below, already written in your this WhatsApp. So you have to note it down those MCQs in your copies, right? So once again, the poem The Quarreled. The Quarreled, all of you know the quarreled means, all of you having quarrels at your home with your brothers and sisters. So the question, the siblings quarreled for a patty, over a patty point, not to fight again for a piece of a cake, over a petty point. Fell out means option A, fell down, quarreled, go out, got out, patch up, quarreled. The exchange of hot word led to the exchange of hot words led to options diseases, heated, explosion, a quarrel, heated. And the next one, the started was slight, but options are the end of it was strong. The fight caused physical injuries. The harm got over. The fight became furious. The answer is the end of it was strong. The next one. The afternoon term back means turned black means an afternoon having black, an afternoon of miserable time cloud. Afternoon was black, the cloud covered the sky. The answer is afternoon was miserable time cloud. Then the next one. The quarrel ended because the quarrel ended because options are one of the two was wise, one did not realize the fully, one did not feel sorry, one of them accepted the mistake. All of you know that one of the two was wise. And the next one thing led to another. One thing led to another harm means options are one thing started harming, one thing caused another harm activity, it begins the chain of evil activities, it led to great blunder. So the answer is one thing caused another harmful activities. And all of you know the answer of the next MCQ, I believe. The author of the poem is L.M. Harry Ben Erlen Ferguson Y. Yen Shuru. The answer is Alan Ferguson. The next question. It seems that the poet and her brother quarreled on a petty matter. Options are a petty matter, someone important matter, money matter, property. So the answer is a petty matter. And the next one. Both the siblings felt that the other was. Options are right, wrong, honest, dishonest. The answer is wrong. The afternoon turned black because two of them, options are were angry, were disappointed, has lost the way, had quarreled. Answer is had quarreled. The next, some other questions. The author of the poem, all of you know that Alan Ferguson. It seems that the brothers quarreled on a petty matter, some very important matter, money matter, property, a petty matter. Both the brothers felt that the other was. Options are right, option 2 wrong, option 3 honest, option 4 dishonest. So, wrong. So, these are the MCQs which you need to memorize and no need to write it down in your copies. Only write 4 or 5 MCQs in your notebook, right? So, what you need to do is you have to learn the poem, and then after you have to know about the answer of the questions itself also. So now moving forward to the summary of the, once again I am going to tell you the summary of the poem. The poem is The Quarrel, okay, and this poem is composed by Eleanor Ferguson. In this poem, the quarrel is about the quarrel between the siblings. The poet talks about the love hidden behind the quarreling, quarreling of the siblings. They fight with each other, but they cannot live without each other. In the poem, the poet speak about the quarrels between him and his brother. So will also I'm going to also explain you the poem. The poem quarreled with his brother on some very petty matter. It was so petty that now he does not remember what it was. One thing led to another. Both of them felt that they were right. It had started as something small, it had become big in the end. So they began to hate each other. The afternoon became very tense and unpleasant of both of them. Then suddenly the poet brother patted him on the back. He said that the two of them could not go along with go along like that for a long time. It would be difficult to pass the night in that manner. He said that it was his mistake. Just then, the poet felt that his brother was right. Fact, he himself was wrong. So this one is all about the poem. In this poem, poet describe about the quarreling happened between his brother and him, and how they solved the quarrel, because both of them not live without of anyone, right? The poet quarreled with his brother on some very petty matter. It was so petty that now he does not remember what was it. One thing led to another. Both of them felt that they were right. It had started at something small, it had become big in the end. So they so they began to hate each other. The afternoon became very tense and unpleasant for both of them. Then suddenly the poet brother pattered on the back. He said that the two of them could not go along like that for a long time. It would be difficult to pass the night in that manner. He said that it was his mistake. Just that the poet felt that his brother was right. In fact, he himself was wrong. So, this one is all about the summary of the poem. Okay, so all of you, you need to write down the summary as well, and after that, you have to note down the exercise as well. I'm sending you the summary as well as the exercise of the poem. You need to note it down in your classwork copies, then after send it to me in my personal WhatsApp number, right? So all of you, and I already told you some MCQs. So what you need to do is you have to write only 5 MCQs in your notebook. The poet was quarreled with her brother or sister. Brother, right? So there are so many MCQs. I already told you the MCQs. So you have to write only those MCQs which I already sent it to you in your classwork, in your class group. So students, you need to memorize all the you have to memorize the ans the summary of the poem as well as the MCQs of the poem. So that's all about the poem. So students, take care yourself, take care of your family. Don't go out at from your home. Okay. So I need to close this. Right, the poem has been completed. So thank you. Stay healthy, stay fit. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.